This is by far the worst team that has ever sat in this locker room. You son of a bitches! You don't deserve a locker room. You don't deserve a locker room the way you're playing this year. You should be playing without uniforms. You should be playing with jock straps. God damn it. Every time we get ready to play, I just want to throw up.
Whatever religion you are, hey, we're the same, and we are the Bro Force Squad, and we are doing the Bro Back on the movie Blue Chips. The starting lineup is myself, Matt Geiger. My role players are Jeff Hornacek and the mad scientist, Brian Banner. And Banner, you have never seen Blue Chips before until we got you to watch this.
Never seen it before.
I wish I could borrow you guys. Lucky
it was
bastard.
awesome. It was absolutely awesome. I loved it. Thank you so much for opening my eyes.
You're welcome. I'm glad you finally agree with me. We've been on this pod for 8 months. You finally agree with me on something. Okay, jumping right into cast. I'll start off with this. Man, Nick Nolte kills it. We got the chick from Dances with Wolves as his ex-wife. She's fantastic. And we got real basketball players in this that act very well. We got Penny Hardaway. We got Shaquille O'Neal. The kid that played Ricky Rowe, he actually played some college ball. And then every team they play is a real coach like Rick Pitino or Bobby Knight, and they have real players, they might not be with their alma maters like Bob Hurley with Indiana. Calvert Cheney is with Indiana. You got George Lynch, Rick Fox playing for Texas Western. But it's a fantastic, the action scenes are awesome because they're actually real basketball players. Banner, take it from me there.
Guys, this is the best I've ever seen Nick Nolte. I cannot believe I had never seen this movie before. And you hit the nail on the head. Hardaway and Shaq were awesome for being professional basketball players. Like, they are clearly not actors, but yet you wouldn't have known that by watching this movie. If you didn't know they were basketball players, you would think they were actors if this is the only thing on the resume.
Technically an actor, I guess. Could call him, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Go ahead, Hornacek.
Kazam.
Before I get into cast, Geiger, were you raised First Baptist or Southern Baptist?
Whatever your son is, because I want to recruit him.
Well, thank the good Lord, Geiger, because we don't think too kindly about Southern Baptists around here. Now,
The best one, though, when he was Shaquille O'Neal in New Orleans, like Pentecostal. Hell, I grew up in the Pentecostal church. It's like
he starts dancing.
Yeah, he starts dancing.
The only thing I can add to cast is I thought Ed O'Neill was really good in this too, as another conveniently a reporter named Ed. But he was a cool role, just to kind of see like how the media goes about, especially in that day and age, investigating this pre-internet. So I thought it was nice to kind of see him in the movie, and obviously another recognizable face, and did a really good job.
Ed O'Neill, red hot, coming off Married with Children, Little Giants, I believe, and then this movie, and then also Black Mariah from Luke Cage is Penny Hardaway's mother, who does a very good job. So, story, Banner, since you've never seen it before, what do you think about the story?
It was
Believable?
fantastic. 100% believable. It's
Kids don't take
relevant.
money
I
in
think
college.
they don't, not at all.
Look, Banner, if you made some arrangements that we don't know about.
Look, we may have some friends of the program, but that's it. No, I think the story is timeless. I mean, until they actually start to pay collegiate athletes, this story is going to be relevant, which is so great. And then you have the struggle of a coach going, look, I know we're doing this. I know it's wrong, but I have that drive. All I can do, all I want to do is win. It's a fantastic story. And then you have different sides of it where you have Ricky Rowe's character saying, hey, yeah, I'm taking advantage of this. Pay me. And then you have Penny Hardaway's character that's saying, I'm not a big fan of this. Is my family going to lose the stuff that you guys gave me? Yeah, you better be at fucking practice on Monday, bitch. So there's lots of struggles, and it's still a great story.
Jeff, what do you think about the story?
Yeah, I think the story is something that, like, basically delved into ground that people were kind of afraid to talk about, but it's so true. And it's the strength of this movie, man. It's so unique. It's so interesting. It's so engaging. And the fact, like you said, I think what makes it, Geiger, what makes it work is the basketball works because it's real basketball players, but I could not believe how good Penny Hardaway was in this movie, man. I mean,
Fantastic.
it just propels the story. I was locked in. It was like the quickest hour 45-minute movie I've ever seen. It was an incredible story.
The story's fantastic because I play college sports, not at a level at this or anything like that, but whenever I talk to people, oh, that doesn't happen, that's just a movie, that's bullshit. It happens everywhere, and basically it's the thing in college sports. If you show me a winner, I'll show you a cheater. And you got to cheat better than the other people, and you got to learn how to not get caught because these players are going to take money. Why wouldn't you? You're coming from an inner city. You know, you are raised by your mother who's barely getting by. You should take 30 grand because you know what? We're doing this for March Madness, and you know how much money the NCAA is going to make through this March Madness? These kids aren't going to get a penny, and it's not fair. I don't want it to be like the NBA, but it should be something that after these kids graduate, they should get a check being like, thank you for being the stud of UCLA. Here is your cut. That's how it should be. But this movie takes a big dive into something no one wanted to talk about in the 90s, something that happened at certain schools. It happened at every school, but only caught at certain schools. It was a fantastic story. Very tough one here, guys. Best scene, Jeff.
Yeah, I was worried that we would all be like trying to get up to Mama's teat and get this one first, but the opening scene, that's how you fucking start a movie.
Yes.
It's hilarious, it's poignant, and it really sets up Pete Bell's arc in the movie because you see like this dude is so passionate about basketball that he really would destroy a locker room and maybe kill somebody if he had to go through another season like that. Two quotes that I wrote.
3 times. He came back 3 times.
Oh, it was hilarious. Two quotes that I wrote down that I just want to read real quick from it. The first quote, Pete Bell says, quote, "Every time I think about watching this team play, I want to throw up." And the second quote, "The only good thing about this season is I only have to watch this team play 2 more goddamn games." Pete Bell. I want a poster of that in my room. That's my favorite scene. Banner.
Yeah, you that's how you start a movie. That's how you start a character off. Like, it set the tone. And yet, that whole scene sits there and says, hey, this is how much Coach Bell actually cares for these players, which then leads into my favorite scene, which was when he discovered that Tony shaved points in that game 3 years ago.
Great scene.
And he goes to the dorm, and he finds Tony, and he's like, did you fucking do it? I can't believe you. Like, I've been here from day one. Have I not been there for you? I care for you more than I care for anybody else. And it completes that arc with just how much he actually cares for his players. And I feel like I can relate to that, you know, growing up, playing sports, how much your coach cares for his players and his team. I thought it was a very powerful scene.
To go off that banner, I had to explain to my wife kind of about point shaving is most of the time they don't take a dive and lose a game. It's most of the time they're favored big, they're going to win, but they don't win as big as they should have, and that's kind of what Tony did. My favorite scene is when no one else is in the gym, and it's just Nolte and his athletic director, who's actually played by Bob Cousy. Kids, if you haven't heard about him, Google him. But he's just basically shooting free throws, and he's talking about, hey, man, we need to get this back on track. And he said there's 2 reasons why I won't do under-the-table recruiting. One, if I get caught, I'll be kicked out of coaching. He said, what's the other reason? He said, I might not get caught. And I'm going to have to live with that the rest of my life, which kind of takes you into another scene, which is the ending scene, that press conference, man. That is a heartfelt press conference. This is a really weird movie. It's funny at times when it's not really meant to be because he's chewing people's asses. But it's a very heartfelt movie, very well done. Also, before we get into effects on pop culture, one of my favorite coaches of all time, Jerry Tarkanian, makes a guest appearance. Jim Boeheim. There's actually real coaches in here. They were trying to recruit Butch McRae and the other kid from French Lick, Indiana. So, going into effects on pop culture, let's talk about that, and then just rewatchability if you're rewatching it. Jeff.
So sadly here, I don't think it had that big an effect on pop culture. I think for 2 reasons. Number one, people still don't talk about this as much as they should. And number 2, I think it's kind of a big, like a lot of people don't realize this is happening that much, and there's not that many movies made about it. So I wish it had a bigger effect on pop culture. I think it has a great message. I think it hit the nail on the head, but I still feel like a lot of people turn a deaf ear to this, and I know they protected the NCAA because it was the NCSA in the movie, but we all fucking know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I wish this had a bigger effect on pop culture. I wish I could say that, but the fact that Banner didn't even know about the movie, as a guy who loves movies probably just as much, if not more than anybody I know, just goes to tell you, even the NCAA's done a good job of kind of keeping this low-key.
Banner?
Yeah, I think you described that perfectly. It has no effect on pop culture, yet the story is so relevant. I think that it's at least me watching it and you guys going, hey, it's a movie about recruiting under the table and paying players, behind the National Athletic Commission's backs. I was like, oh yeah, that's just something that happens. Like, it's almost accepted, even though it's against the rules. It's an accepted rule that gets broken, and it is sad that it's not more in the limelight. And it's just kind of, yeah, it happens. It is what it is.
Effects on pop culture couldn't be bigger in this movie, and this is why. If you don't believe me about what I'm about to say, go watch the 30 for 30, This Magic Moment. But this was Shaq's after his rookie year, and Penny just declared for the draft. And that year, the Orlando Magic had the first pick, and if you don't remember, that was the end of the Fab Five, so they're going to pick Chris Webber, right? After shooting this movie, Shaq went to the front office and said, I want Penny in Orlando. I don't want Chris Webber, because I need a point guard that can give me the ball. I've been practicing with him. We've been shooting scenes. I want him in Orlando. And they drafted Chris Webber. Golden State drafted Penny, and they traded him. And if this movie wouldn't have happened, we wouldn't have had my favorite team in the 90s, the Orlando Magic, with Horace Grant, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott, Shaquille O'Neal, and Penny Hardaway. So that's why I always look at this movie. I'm just like, man, this is where Shaq and Penny first met and gained all of that fucking charisma they had on the court. That's why I love this movie so much. And I disagree with you guys. I love the effects on pop culture. It's not on TV very much. I think people do know about it. And rewatchability, just really quick. Guys, this is in my rotation of movies. Before Christmas, I watched Christmas Vacation. Before Halloween, I watched The Crow. Before March Madness, I always watch Blue Chips. So I rewatch this at least 2 times a year. What about you, Jeff?
Yeah, for me, this is a movie, and Banner's experience summarizes it perfectly. This is a movie that I want to rewatch, but I want to show it to someone who hasn't seen it before. So that's the thing I'm most excited for, is find one of my friends who hasn't seen it and be like, all right, fucking cancel your plans tonight. We're watching it right now. Banner, what do you think?
Being that this is the first time I've ever seen it, I was blown away. Guys, I actually might go pop this in again tonight, just because it's such a good story, and the characters are so just awesome, and everybody plays their role better than I would have expected. I'll go back and, in fact, yeah, I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go watch it. Bye.
There you go, guys. Throwback Blue Chips. Go check it out again. Website, www.bro4squad.com. We're also on YouTube and iTunes. Please subscribe to us on both. Check us out on Twitter at Bro4Squad. And give us a like on Facebook. Until then, see you later.